Welcome everybody to Adventures with Peps. This is my third attempt at recording the intro. I keep getting my words wrong, but you are joining me today as we paint the final model I need for Aliens, Another Glorious Day in the Marine Corps by Gale Force 9. It is the power loader, the iconic forklift in space suit that Ripley wears to fight the alien queen. I'm so excited to get this done because that means all the miniatures for this game are complete apart from the crates and computer screens, which I'm not going to do as a video because it's pretty dull. But it does mean we'll be starting a new project real soon on this channel, so you're going to have to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to see what I'm going to get up to next. But until then, sit back, get a cup of coffee, enjoy this painting and lore video about a power loader in outer space. Let's get to it! Right, as always, you know the score. I'm not going to talk about my paint job. The paints will be popping up on screen as we go along, but all you need to know for this step was that it was primed black, and then I used the fair skin as a dry brush, a very heavy dry brush. Right, while I'm painting and you're enjoying a cup of coffee, let's go over the Caterpillar P5000 powered work loader, which is an exoskeleton used for lifting and moving heavy objects such as crates and ordnance. Power loaders are equipped with hydraulic claws similar to those used on forklifts. One joint of each claw is placed under the package, while the other joint clamps down on top so it remains secure. It was selected by the US Colonial Marines as their prime loader vehicle for logistic and support operations, configured as an anthropomorphic exoskeleton power frame. The P5000 offers unprecedented flexibility while handling ordnance and cargo during rough field operations, or when conducting heavy maintenance away from fixed workshops. Capable of manipulating loads up to 4,000 kilograms, the P5000 is a rugged and reliable alternative to conventional forklifts, rigs, and cranes. The basic power loader design was patented by Weyland Corp on January 29th, 2025, which is hilarious. So this year, while initial models were manufactured by the Weyland Corp themselves, later commercial versions would be built by Caterpillar. It is also worth bearing in mind that there are military versions of the P5000 that the Colonial Marines make use of, and other groups including the Iron Bears, which I believe is a Soviet group. Correct me if I'm wrong. To work a power loader, an operator must first back into the machine, buckling themselves into the web harness. The roll cage is then pulled down to provide protection for the head and torso, while the feet are secured in straps. The power-up and system diagnostics are handled by a punch keypad built into the hand grips. This keypad also controls any additional tools fitted to the machine. When powered up, the P5000 is slave to the operator's limb movements, duplicating their walking and lifting motions almost exactly. Response time to operator input is almost instant, while sophisticated computer controls dampen any system-induced twitches or oscillations that arise out of involuntary operator movement. Problems are only likely to arise if the loader is walking or reaching at full extension, as the system is unlikely to enhance the movement beyond the fine-tuning capabilities of the operator, so they normally forbid operators from performing these sort of maneuvers. If operating over rough ground, the power loader will provide feedback cues to the operator to help them keep his or her footing. However, owing to the P5000's high lifting capabilities and relatively small foot area, operations with very heavy loads on soft ground are not recommended, as the extreme downward pressure generated underfoot would cause the unit to literally bury itself into the ground. Automatic lockout systems will prevent any movement that will topple the loader, and the system has generally proved to be safe to use over all but the most treacherous terrain. As with any lifting device, there are strict guidelines regarding weight limit that the loaders can handle. Though simple in principle, considerable practice is required to use a power loader efficiently and safely. The equivalent of a Class II civilian cargo handling license is needed to operate one in USCM service. Operators must become used to the loader's mass and its tendency to lead the operator's movements. Operators must be careful not to overcompensate, otherwise they may induce unwanted oscillations in the control systems. Operating a P5000 requires sureness and economy of movement, so exaggerated motions tend to place undue stress on the load-bearing joints. Training to use a power loader takes about 6 weeks, and it extends to 8 weeks to be able to qualify for the USCM personnel, and includes training and rough field operations. Wow. I'm sorry guys, that was pretty boring. I went into full tech spec mode there, didn't I? Here's a quick bit from Wayland Yutani, obviously. Very corporate message in here. Since its introduction, the power loader has improved workplace safety by 300% in off-world applications. Its low alloy steel exoskeleton is designed to withstand maximum compression stress, keeping the driver safe from external blows. Hydraulically stabilized legs give 3 tons of load lifting abilities. So that's about it for the fluff. It's not a very fluff heavy model, but tell you what, it does look beautiful. Now, in the film Aliens, which we all know and love, and that's how we probably recognize this model, it was originally designed to be a 4-legged machine, but when The Empire Strikes Back was released in 1980, James Cameron decided it would be too similar to that film's AT-AT walkers, so he modified it to be 2 legs. The 4-legged rendition notably appeared in the film's novelization. Cameron discussed the look of the power loader with production designer Snide Mead, who had actually worked on the AT-ATs in Star Wars. Mead came up with some concept drawings, and while the design ultimately used in the film was Cameron's own, Mead's work later seemingly inspired the amplified mobility platform in Cameron's 2009 film Avatar. Ooh, so in theory, the power loader could have looked like it belonged in Avatar. That's weird. The power loader in the film was a full-scale prop constructed around stuntman John Lees, who was concealed inside and ultimately behind Sigourney Weaver. I did not know there was a person inside the suit. That's amazing. It was constructed from aluminum, fiberglass, and PVC plastic. The finished machine weighed around 600 pounds and included hidden counterweights disguised as machine components to help balance it. Even though the suit's weight and bulk, it had to either be suspended from wires or mounted on a counterbalance crane for filming. Oh, amazing. Now, of course, there are variants to the model. There was a power loader that was weaponized and had smart guns on it, very much Colonial Marine heavy. There was a 4-wheeled version for like proper all-terrain. And yeah, it even appeared on the 2010 video game. It also appeared in most of the computer games as background props. Very rare that it got used. It also appeared in some of the novels like Female War, Newt's Tale, and Alien vs. Predator. So there you have it. That is the background for this cheeky little model, the cheeky little power loader that it is. And as you can see in the video, we are pretty much racking our way through this quite nicely. So Ripley, I painted up like I do in every video. Dark blue slacks, the whitish grey t-shirt, dark brown hair, flesh tones, very simple. But for the power loader itself, I have decided to go a few extra steps. So right now you're going to see me putting on the Zealot yellow over the dry brush. Very nice, it's very satisfying, it looks great, it does really pop. I do enjoy painting yellow with this speed paint. But as you can see, it has a lot of flat areas, and I thought just slapping on speed paint, though it will look good, isn't going to work for me. So we're actually going to do some extra steps. Now, if you've followed the channel long enough, you know I don't normally show the extra steps. Most of my painting videos are about just getting them ready for table and getting them done. And usually I save any additional details that I do for afterwards for my personal enjoyment, not the channel's, but for once I'm going to show it. So here we have the speed paint nice and dry. It's a pretty dull looking model, gotta be honest with you. It's nothing that exciting right now. I'm gonna just put some Avaland Sunset base paint onto it, and I'm gonna use a dry brush. So if I can get this done correctly, this should look nice. And we're gonna do a couple of yellows on top, just trying to pick up the highlights and smooth out some of the colors, because I don't know if you use speed paints or not, but on flat surfaces, they have this bad tendency to pool and make little puddles, and that can sometimes ruin the effect. So what I'm going to do with this to begin with, as you can see, it's already lightening up the model. I'm going to use it to flatten out some of these large panels. So the yellow is completely covering everything for the most part. And then as I go in, I'm going to smooth out anywhere that may have actually had a puddle on it and just lighten it up. I'm not going to be too fussy here. I'm pretty much just wiping my way down the model as if light was hitting it from the top. And yeah, I'm not a dry brush expert. I just use it the way I think I should. But the way I'm using it is just to fill in the panels. So the yellow, the speed paint yellow is going to be the darkest yellow on the model. Then we're going to brighten it up. So as you can see, we have now got that done. And it just looks a bit more mechanical, a bit more flat, which is what I'm after. And at this point, I was thinking I'm probably happy with this. So I then grabbed the Grim Black and I'm going to paint some hazard stripes onto the claws. This is seen in the movie. It's not my favorite thing to do, but I initially start doing these hydraulic parts because it's going to flatten out my paintbrush. And as you can see, I'm only using one side of my brush. And I'm hoping this will flatten out to a point. It actually gives me a curved point, which if you look at my brush, you can just see it's actually starting to curve. I tried to flip it over in the hopes of straightening it back out. But what I am trying to do is flatten my brush as the paint is slowly drying on it under my hot lamps. It's going to stiffen up the brush and hopefully give me a nice straight edge that when I'm ready, we will do these hazard stripes. I'm probably going to do them off camera because I am not confident they were going to work. So I do turn off my camera. I know it's naughty. You probably wanted to see me do it. I do apologize, but trying to film with a camera in front of you and a couple of lamps blasting at your head, it's not the easiest thing to do, especially when you're trying to get like a flat line. So I'll finish up these power cords and then I'm going to whack off the camera and I'm going to do some hazard stripes. Ooh. Right, we are back. The hazard stripes worked. They're going to work. Like, yes, they're not perfect, but they're going to work on the model for what I need it to look like. I then decided I needed to do one more highlight on it. So Uriel Raider or Uriel Yellow, just going to once again hit up my dry brush. Going to be a bit more gentle this time. I'm not going to go over the board at all. I'm just going to rub it all over the model. Nothing too exciting here. As you can see, at some point I'll pick out the barcodes on the arm with a grey paint. I'm going to also hit the model with some shades. I'm thinking like a little bit of brown to dirty it down. Maybe a little bit of a yellow wash. Maybe, is it Cassandra yellow? But you get the idea. I'm working my way around. I'm going to clean this up even more. I think with the dry brushing, this definitely needs a shade on top. So there you go. You can now see a little bit better. I really like the way it's looking. It's very bright compared to the rest of my alien models. And I'm using Cassandra. Oh my God. Leave me a comment below. Is it Cassandra? Or Castora yellow? I don't know. I'm going to slap it all over either way. This is going to help bring the yellow back to a slightly orange tinge to it. But it's also going to smooth out all my dry brushing because whether I like it or not, my dry brushing usually ends up looking a little bit dusty. So I'm just going to use this to smooth stuff out. I'm also going to use it over the hazard stripes. I know army paints have this issue of reactivating, especially the set that I've got because it was an early one. But I'm hoping that will just make it look slightly more worn and damaged. While I'm finishing up this is probably a good time to say remember to like, subscribe and all that good stuff. If you want to join the coffee club, drop your subscription down below. It's really cheap. It's like the basic package is $1, the fancier package is about $3, and that buys me a cup of coffee. And after a couple of months, we will together design a 2000 AD character for my setting in Sector 102. But until then, I do appreciate you stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know if there's a set of figures that you know I own that you'd like to see painted up next. Maybe that could be the next project. And until my next video, cheers for watching! Hey, thank you for watching this video. Make sure you like, subscribe, and then go watch this one. This one up here. Give it a click. Bye-bye!